Absolute obedience. Imagine having the ultimate cheat code, the ability to make anyone do exactly what you say. That's Lelouch Geass. The power of absolute obedience originated from his contract with the immortal C2, one glance into his glowing red eye, and boom, you're his puppet. Want someone to give you answers for tomorrow's test? Done. Need an army? Easy. The rules are simple. Eye contact plus one verbal command equals instant submission. And once it's done, there's no takebacks. Heck, he even forced his best frenemy Suzaku to live, a command so strong it stuck for years. But here's the catch. Power this terrifying comes with a price. Lelouch could toggle his Geass like a light switch, but overuse turned it into a double-edged curse. The infamous Yuffie massacre proved just how horrifying this power could be. One slip of the tongue, and Lelouch turned his kindest ally into a genocidal monster just because you blinked wrong. Yikes. After a dramatic death and revival, of course, Lelouch leveled up to Failed One status and regained control of his Geass power. So yeah, Lelouch's Geass power of absolute obedience is the ultimate cheat code. Mind reading. Ever wish you could read other people's minds? Mao had that power, and it destroyed him. His Geass, the seal of absolute sound, let him hear every thought within 500 meters. No eye contact needed, just an endless, unfiltered stream of everyone's thoughts. Mao received this ability from C2 when he was just 6 years old. Initially, it seemed awesome. Kid Mao could outsmart anyone, predict their moves, and dig into their deepest secrets. But then, it never stopped. Permanently active in both eyes, his power became a 24/7 mental torture chamber. He spent his entire life trapped in a prison of other people's minds. No off switch, no volume control. The only person whose thoughts he couldn't hear? C2, which is why he became obsessed with her. She was his escape from the noise, the only silence in his screaming world. No wonder he went completely insane when she left him. Lelouch used his fixation to win. Let's be real. This power would break anyone. It is the ultimate curse disguised as a superpower, unless you enjoy losing sleep over your neighbor's weird list fantasies. Time freeze. Rollo's Geass is basically an ultimate pause button. Activating the seal of absolute suspension makes everyone around him freeze their perception while he acts freely. Perfect for assassinations, sneaky escapes, or finally getting the last slice of pizza without anyone noticing. Unlike most Geass users who gradually lose control, Rollo maintained perfect command of his ability despite using it frequently since childhood. But here's the twist. Every time he used it, his heart stopped. Yep, literally. Rollo was one of many children experimented on by the Geass Order to develop Geass abilities. His Geass was artificially implanted by V2, making it unstable and harmful to his body with overuse. The more people he froze, the worse the strain. Freeze a whole school, collapse in exhaustion, spam it too much, instant cardiac arrest. And it only affected living things, so good luck dodging bullets or falling debris near you, which makes this ability quite inconvenient in open areas, since getting an enemy at a distance with a slow-spreading sphere compared to other instant Geass abilities costs a lot of your health. This flaw literally killed him when he pushed it to its absolute limit to save Lelouch, freezing an entire battlefield at the cost of his own life. Rollo's Geass was brilliant for stealth ops, but like a high-stakes energy drink, the crash was deadly. So, be careful with energy drinks. And coffee. I'm serious. Memory rewrite. Imagine being able to rewrite someone's personality with nothing more than eye contact and a smirk. Sounds like the ultimate ability for a real gaslighter. It is Emperor Charles's Geass, the most refined psychological weapon in the Code Geass universe. This is not just a temporary mind control, it is full-scale reality revision. The Emperor primarily used this power to manipulate key figures, including his own children. Charles didn't just make Lelouch forget his mother's murder, he reshaped his entire childhood and convinced Nunnally she was blind despite her perfectly functional eyes. He could even make Geass users forget they had powers at all. The man rewrote history according to his design and turned others into unwitting pawns. What made this ability so terrifying was its surgical precision. While other Geass powers spiraled out of control, Charles maintained absolute mastery over his, able to activate or deactivate it at will. Charles likely obtained this ability through his contract with V2, his immortal brother. This let him rule Britannia for decades as an untouchable god emperor, selectively editing the memories of anyone who threatened him. But even this absolute power had its limits. Nunnally eventually remembered her sight through sheer willpower. C2 broke Charles's Geass hold over Lelouch, and in the ultimate irony, Lelouch stole this power after gaining the code, combining memory alteration with his absolute commands to create untraceable mind control. Charles proved one chilling truth: the most dangerous weapon isn't one that destroys bodies, it's one that destroys truth itself. Precognition. Bismarck Waldstein's unfair advantage is the power to see seconds into the future, turning every battle into a script he'd already read. The origin of Bismarck's Geass remains unclear, though it was likely granted by V2, the same immortal who empowered Emperor Charles. As the Knight of One, he didn't just fight, he orchestrated violence with the precision of a conductor. This wasn't vague fortune-telling, it was hyper-specific combat foresight. Every slash, every feint, every desperate counterattack, Bismarck saw it coming like watching a movie on rewind. The man was so disciplined that he sewed his own eyelids shut just to restrain this overwhelming power, only unleashing it against opponents who actually deserved the effort. And in his entire career, Bismarck claimed only two ever made the cut: Marianne v. Britannia and Suzaku, who only won thanks to Lelouch's live command. But here's the brutal catch: future vision can't predict the unpredictable. Bismarck could anticipate every sword swing, but he couldn't account for Suzaku's berserk survival instinct. Moral of the story? Even precognition can't save you from anime protagonist logic. Soul transfer. Death? For Marianne v. Britannia, that was just a minor technical difficulty. Her Geass ability, granted by C2, essentially allowed her to cheat death by preserving her soul and memories within a new host. 1 second she's bleeding out in her original body, the next she's waking up inside Anya Alström's head, stretching her new limbs like nothing happened. This wasn't possession, it was a full system override. Marianne didn't share space with Anya, she completely erased the girl's personality. And if she ever got nostalgic, no problem. She could just jump back into her original corpse for a quick reunion. She faked her assassination, operated as a hidden player for years, and nearly helped Charles rewrite reality itself. Yet for all its power, this Geass had one fatal flaw: it required preparation. Marianne needed C2's help to set it up, and without a willing or vulnerable host, she'd be stuck. Even this cheat code ability couldn't save her from being outmaneuvered by the son she abandoned. Marianne's power proved that in the world of Code Geass, death is just a suggestion. Forced love. Before she became an immortal pizza addict, C2 had a Geass that made people obsess over her. One meet, and boom, you were hopelessly in love. As a young girl in medieval Europe, C2 received this Geass from a mysterious nun. The flashbacks tell the tragic story. Villages transformed into cults overnight, people fighting each other for her attention. When she gained her code and lost the Geass, that artificial love instantly curdled into infinite hatred. This explains C2's subsequent cynicism about human relationships, and her search for someone who could love her without Geass influence. What makes this power uniquely horrifying is that people remembered being controlled by her Geass. Unlike Charles's memory wipes that erased the manipulation, this ability left them with the trauma of knowing their feelings weren't real. C2's Geass stands as one of the series' most tragic, a power that gave her everything except the one thing that actually mattered to her. Geass Canceller. If Geass abilities were cheat codes, Jeremiah Gottwald was the admin who could use the ultimate anti-cheat system software. His Geass Canceller, a cybernetic eye hidden behind that iconic silver mask, was the perfect counter to every mind-bending power in the series. He received it as part of his enhancements from the Britannian Empire, specifically through V2 and the Geass Orders technology, to counter Lelouch's Geass. This wasn't just resistance, it was full system deletion. When Jeremiah activated that glowing blue eye, Geass effects shattered like glass. Suzaku, freed from Lelouch's Live command. Memory wipes, reversed. Even Charles's reality-altering Geass got hard countered when Jeremiah stepped in. The hidden wildcard, a one-man Geass purge who could flip entire battles by existing. The Orange Kun became a proof that even in a world of gods playing with human minds, someone could still say, no. Body control. This is bonus 1. Child from the Geass Order. His power activated through eye contact, after which he could manipulate the body like a marionette using precise hand movements. His Geass was granted by V2, similar to other Geass Order members. The scene where he demonstrates this power is one of the most disturbing moments in the entire series. It doesn't matter how strong your will is, if he locks eyes with you, your body is no longer yours. Like most other Geass abilities, it represents the core theme of Code Geass, the conflict between free will and control. What is the most cheating Geass power and why? Share in the comments.